back to a new video. How you're doing? Hope you're all well. So today it's a bit late in the day, and we've just basically spent yesterday. We didn't actually do a video, but we spent all day yesterday and most of the day today actually trying to figure out our electrics. So at first we was going to actually work out like the exact power we needed to like run everything we've actually got, but it just didn't work out very well. So we scrapped that idea and didn't actually make the video, which was supposed to be yesterday's video. But we figured out a little bit what we're going to go for. We'll actually do a whole video when we actually buy it and stuff like that. But we're not kind of working out like scientifically. We're kind of just going off what we had before and then like upping it a lot, like a hell of a lot, for obviously the future. So we'll speak about that properly. But today in this video, we're going to actually replace the towbar connector. So we bought a new one. This is just like a cheap one from Euro Car Parts. It's like a 7-pin connector, in a lot better condition than the one that's on there. The annoying thing is this doesn't come with like a back gasket seal, and it doesn't come with the bolts either, but I'm not planning on bolting it back to the tow bar, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to swap this over and hopefully that sorts out the issues that we've had, obviously with the light flashing on and off. So we're going to swap this over, wrap it up in like a bin bag so it's no water can get in it all, and then kind of just stash it out of the way underneath the van, because I'm not sure if we're actually taking off like the actual metal bulky tow bar bit. But yeah, so that's the first job for today. And then the second job, if we've got time after doing that and if that works, is to look at the doors, because this door doesn't, it attempts to lock but it doesn't lock or unlock. And you can't get the key in the hole either, like it goes half in and then doesn't go any further. So I think this one might need a new like actual locking mechanism. And on the sliding door, that one doesn't do anything, like there's power coming to it. So I've measured it, I've tested it to see if there's any power coming to it, and there is. But the actual like solenoid doesn't actually do anything. So what we're going to try is test this one out, see if we can get this one working. And then if it's the same like solenoid bit, I think it's solenoid, if it's the same part, we'll swap them over and just see if this one will trigger that one, because I'm hoping that that is just what it is, and then we might just need to buy a new one for that door and then maybe a new lock for this door. So there are two tasks we want to get done today, and this shouldn't be too long to be fair, because it's literally just kind of take the wires out of the old one, match them up to this one, put them in, and then kind of just obviously just start the engine and hopefully, fingers crossed, the light stays off and doesn't come back on. Hopefully it was just that was causing the issue. But let's get cracking, because it's late in the day and we've already kind of wasted a bit of today by just sitting around not really doing much. Alright, so we've hit our first obstacle straight away, and basically according to this, which is like what we got on the new one, it tells you obviously which wire goes into like which like hole. But the issue is the colours like on the wires don't actually match up, because if you look, there's 2 yellows on here and there's 3 like, I don't know what they are, bluey greeny sort of things, and there's 3 of them going in. So yeah, this should be interesting, because I've got to try and put them in the right place again on this one, but I have no idea. The only thing I'm thinking is, because I'm not going to use it, if I put them in the wrong hole, maybe it won't really matter because they're still connected. As long as like the earth's in the right point, everything else I think shouldn't really matter, because it, like I said, I'm not going to use it. It just needs to be connected, so obviously when it sends the signal down, it doesn't go, oh, is it not connected? You know what I mean? At least that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think what I'm going to do is just disconnect them all, and some of them I'm going to have to actually cut them out, because the actual screws have like just completely corroded away, so I can't even undo them. So I'm just going to cut along the back, and even like the cables all rusty and stuff, so I definitely think it was this that was causing the issue. So I'm just going to cut them down, and then luckily there's only one white, which is the earth cable apparently, so hopefully it's the same as what it should be. And then we'll cut them down, clean them all up, put them into this one in kind of any order, just because they're all the same colours, so I don't really know which is which. And then hopefully that sorts it out. If not, yeah, there's going to be a lot more looking and digging into it. Right, so when I disconnected it, the old one, look at that, I'll cover my face. Look how minging that is. I definitely think that was what was causing the issue. So when all the wires were disconnected, I just kind of went and tried the ignition to see if the light would stay on or come off. And it still stayed on, because I was hoping like I could maybe just get away without putting this back on, and then like just kind of wrap all the wires up, like seal them all up and stuff, with like tape and that lot, and then just kind of stuff out of the way then. But no, it didn't work. So I've put the new one back on, so they're all back in. Some of the cables are a bit crusty and horrible, but there's nothing I can really do about that right now. And they're in a random order because the colours don't match the colours that I've got on here. And the old one didn't have any numbers on the back of it either. So yeah, it was kind of all just a guesswork, kind of annoying, but what can you do? So I'm gonna go into the front now and check it to see if the light stays on or goes off. Fingers crossed, even though they're in like probably the wrong order, fingers crossed it stays on. Stays off. Stays off, not stays on. But let's go to the front and see if it stays on or not.
Right, so we've reconnected the van battery. Now it's time to put the keys in and see if that light comes on. Please don't.
Oh, it's off.
Ooh.
That's good, because it was on a minute ago. Just try the light, or put the hazard lights on.
Hazards.
Yeah! Oh, I just went to celebrate. Come on!
It's disappointed.
I just went to start celebrating as well, and then it flicked back on.
Oh.
Shit. Yeah, that's annoying because I was hoping that would work.
Yeah.
And I don't know what order to put them in the correct order. So this should be fun. Not. I don't really know now because I was thinking that like as long as it's earthed, it should be fine because surely like as long as they're in there and they're all connected up, it won't matter because obviously as long as like it's earthed and when you're sending the power to it, it's fine, you know what I mean, and it's still registering that like it's being connected. Because I was thinking when you actually plug in like a trailer to it, which we won't be doing, but if you plug the trailer into it, it just kind of mess up that. So if you press the brake pedal or something, it might set on the trailer like an indicator. So that's kind of what I was hoping would be the case, but that light's still on, annoyingly. So back to the drawing board. I'm gonna go and have a look at it because all the cables are a bit black, so maybe it's just like the actual wiring is a bit shot. So I'm gonna get some like solution and try and soak the cables with the battery disconnected, and then see if it can kind of bring them back to a bit of brown, like a bit of copper, because at the minute they're kind of like black and all minging and horrible. So we'll try that next, and hopefully that works. But that's annoying because I was hoping that was all it'll be, and then it worked fine, but it's not. And if we can't figure it out this time, it is just going to be to an auto electrician and let them sort it out because I'm kind of out of ideas, I think. At least from what I can comfortably do. I don't want to go cutting everything and then splicing into cables, anything like that. So let's go back to the back of the van and see what we can do to see if we can try and figure this out. Right, so we've just found a really weird thing. So at the minute this light's on, and if Tabitha presses the hazards, so just press the hazards, see? Look, you can see they're double blinking and that light stays on, but if you put the headlights on at the same time, that goes off. So that's very weird as well. I don't really know what's the matter with that. Yeah, but then look, it comes back on. So I have no idea. Right, so we've not managed to sort it out. What we have got doing though is I've got in between here, I've got the cables out, and what I've done is I've looked online, and apparently if you mix salt and vinegar together and then leave the cables in that, let me just actually make sure it's in properly, don't fall over. So if you leave the cables in that, it gets like all the tarnish off them and stuff. So it could be that being the issue, like maybe it's just not connecting properly. So we're trying that out, but while that's doing that, we're gonna have a look at these doors because we need to sort them out. And we actually rang a auto electrician as well. I think he's an auto electrician, he knows electrics on vehicles. A garage that's not that far from here.
No, it's about 15 minutes. So they rang him up, explained the issue, and he said it sounded like the tow bar. And we can take it in on Friday at 9:30 in the morning, and he said about 45 quid, so that's not as bad as I was actually thinking it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a couple hundred quid.
Yeah, but yeah, so hopefully he gets it sorted out, and hopefully he gets it sorted for 45 quid, because if he does, then that's awesome. But we're still going to try before then. We're still going to see if we can try and fix it ourselves, because obviously we have got a few days to try and sort it out.
Yes.
But to be honest, if this doesn't work, I think I'm just going to leave it and we're going to carry on with the rest of the build of the van because it's just holding everything up now. Like, I don't want to do anything until this is sorted. So what we're going to do now, like I said, is obviously crack on with the doors. But yeah, if that's not working after we've tried like getting off that tarnish and rust off the cable, and then we connect it back up and it still doesn't work, I'm just going to wrap it up, tie it under the van and leave it until Friday, I think, and then let him have a look at it and see what he thinks and see if he finds anything or anything like that.
Yeah, but it means now we don't have to stress about it, because if we don't find the fault, then it should hopefully be
found.
A cheap fix than we thought it was going to be. So
yeah,
still a bit of money, but
yeah, it's just kind of one of them things now where it's like we've spent enough time on it ourselves and we can't figure it out, so let's just move on. And let's move on to the doors, because these need sorting out, and by the look of it, that's all rusty too.
Luckily, the van isn't actually that rusty. It's just little bits.
Yeah, it's just like the actual barrel looks all corroded on the outside, which might need a new barrel. Then I need to test to see if there's power coming to here, but I can't test that until that's done, because obviously that's in vinegar, and I don't want to connect the battery up until that's all dry and stuff. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah, else it might be a bit more of an expensive fix. But yeah, so we could kind of just chilling with a cup of tea, waiting for that to get sorted out, and I'll have a little mooch around here with the key barrel and see if I can find anything with that. We've managed to actually get the barrel out. This is the barrel for the key in the back door. It was nice and easy, but as you can see, that is corroded like hell. And what the issue is, the fact that like I put the key in, but it don't go all the way in, and it won't like lock or unlock or anything like that. So I think what I'm going to try and do first is go get some WD-40 and penetrating oil and kind of just spray it all in here and give it a clean up and see if that works. If not, I might just have to connect it so there's not a hole in there, and then just actually buy a new one of these, which will be fun because then I might need a new key. I don't know, but anyway, I need to clean it up first and see if I can actually get it fixed and working, because it's super annoying that this don't work. So we've brought the key barrel into the tool shed, and I've basically taken off the bottom part and see if I could get inside somehow to try and like loosen stuff up, and I couldn't. So what I've done instead, I've just absolutely soaked it in WD-40, and I've left it upside down, and basically inside the barrel there's loads of WD-40, and hopefully like over like an hour or so, maybe a couple of hours, it can kind of seep into the areas that's seized up, and then maybe if I try and like either put a screwdriver into it or the actual key, hopefully it kind of unseizes. If not, we're just going to order them. I think they're about 40 quid for 4 new locks. Alright, so we've cleaned up the actual connectors, and by putting it in like salt and vinegar, it actually really cleaned them up. So if you ever need to clean some wires, salt and vinegar is your go-to. We've put them all back in. Again, whether they're in the right ones or not, don't know, but I'm going to go connect the battery back up and then test it and see if it works this time. I'm not optimistic, but it's worth a shot, so let's go.
Right, now it's time to try it and see if it will go off the dash. I need to
well, that's a good sign. At least it's off again.
I'll try not to move the camera.
No.
There we go, and then...
God's sake.
So weird how that does that.
Yeah, that's not working. Leave it.
Right. Auto electrician job it is.
So, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.